Oh yeah. Well, this is what we do around here. We come through. We sit up and watch some crime stories. They told me to hurry up on my last broadcast. I'm back in the dough for the 9-4, for the 9 tray. We got somebody who took their whole little teacher out the box. This ought to be a good one, y'all. Let's go.
On July 11th, 2019, officers in Fort Smith received a call for a welfare check at 1802 Greenwood Avenue. The request came from a neighbor who was worried about a 72-year-old man who lived alone there. His name was Bill. The neighbor who made the call was Denton Stringer. A few days earlier, he had heard a strange noise coming from Bill's house. Since then, he hadn't seen him once.
Hello. Good. Him? He's not answering?
He's not answering, but I was laying in my bed the other night, and I can't remember what time it was because I heard something fall. It sounded like.
Does he have a car?
Yeah, he had a car, but
where's his car?
His car's been gone for 2 or 3 days.
Well, maybe he's gone. Okay.
He even told us.
Okay.
At first glance, it didn't look like a big deal. Bill's car wasn't in the driveway, which usually meant he had gone somewhere. Officers see that all the time on welfare checks, but Denton kept insisting something felt off. Bill wasn't the type to disappear without anyone noticing.
He would told us.
Okay. What kind of car does he drive?
He drives a red Ford.
The officer walked up and knocked on the front door. No answer. She paused and looked around the property, focusing on the missing car. If Bill had been in an accident, maybe that could explain everything. Bill drove a brand new red Ford Focus. The officer checked recent reports, but there had been no accidents involving a car like that in the last few days. That's when another thought crept in. Maybe whatever happened inside the house.
You know what position his bedroom is at?
Back that way, I
Okay.
think.
I'll come back and talk to you in just a second, okay?
Every blind on the house was shut tight. There was no gap, no angle, no way to see inside. The officer moved around the house and checked the kitchen door. She looked for any sign of forced entry. Then she walked toward a bedroom window Denton had pointed out earlier. Maybe there was something there that could explain where Bill had gone. As she stepped closer, something hit her. A smell, strong and sharp. At first, she wondered if it might be coming from a nearby trash can. But the more she stood there, the clearer it became. The smell wasn't coming from the garbage, it was coming from inside the house. Before jumping to conclusions, the officer decided to check their system to see what information they had on Bill. Maybe Denton Stringer was Bill's contact number.
Okay, I'm just gonna get your information. Do you have his cell phone number?
I don't got his number. I thought I did have.
What's his name?
Bill. That's all I know is Bill. That's all I called him.
You said Du Bois. The call note said Du Bois.
He might be. They know him better than I do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he goes over there and talks to them.
Okay.
Most people knew him as Bill, but his legal name was William Dubois. When the officer searched that name, it did appear in their records on a very bad list. But that detail wasn't the focus right now. What mattered was that William Dubois might be in trouble. Denton had been worried enough to walk across the street and borrow a phone from a nearby business just to call 911.
I understand. So you don't have a phone, so you walked over there.
Yeah.
You should get a phone.
I had a phone. I got me a phone, and my daughter, when she left, she stole it.
Denton had his own reputation around the neighborhood. People knew he had ongoing family issues. There was often some kind of tension around his place.
Uh-oh.
But what I was trying to tell you, I was in bed, and I heard a big boom.
What day was this?
That was a couple days ago.
So today's Thursday.
Well, okay, Thursday, yeah, Tuesday.
Okay.
That's something wrong.
All right. Go inside and get out of this heat, and I'll come talk to you in just a
Carry
second,
the
okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
That's when her supervisor arrived on the scene. She quickly brought him up to speed.
His car's not here. However, I have one piece of mail. He said 2 nights ago he heard a really loud boom. So it's not like him. It's not like him to be gone for 2 days. There's an odd smell when I open the door. No flies up here. When I rounded the corner, you only get it every now and then. I saw one fly in the window as if it was trying to get out, but it's a whiff every now and then. I'm trying to get them to find a cell phone number for him. He says his bedroom's in the back corner. I wasn't seeing anything there. I haven't tried the windows yet. Wait till you round the corner. That's when I really. And I know there's a trash can, but there's a. You smell that?
Hey, hey.
The supervisor walked around the side of the house and noticed an exhaust vent. He leaned in closer.
It's where I saw the fly in the window. And this would be the bedroom.
It smells
Like old must.
old
Yeah.
house.
Okay. With the car being gone, I'm trying to have dispatch see if he has a cell phone on file somewhere. See if we can call him, maybe call a family member. I'll run him and see if he has maybe an emergency contact that might have. Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah, right here. I know that smell.
On July 11th, 2019, officers in Fort Smith
hold on,
received a
y'all.
call for a welfare check at 1802 Greenwood Avenue. Every officer knows that smell, the smell of death.
And it could be the trash can. The trash is empty, sir. I didn't see anything in that window, but I'm also not tall enough to see on the inside of the pane. Like once I got there. It's only whiffs. I'm on the fence.
Both William and Denton rented their places from the same landlord, a man named Bob. Maybe he had a spare key.
Do you have the landlord's number?
Yeah, that might be a
The landlord would have a key, right?
You should have.
Okay. Are they pretty good with you?
Oh, yeah, Bob. Yeah,
Yeah, let me
Bob.
give him a call.
Yeah, Bob's good. Real nice. See, I think. Yeah.
And Bill goes over there a lot too, right?
Yeah, Bill goes over there.
That's when the officer decided to speak with the people at the business across the street. That was the place where Denton had gone earlier to make the 911 call. Inside were two women who had already heard about the situation and were waiting for the officers.
Yeah, it's hot, so. Okay, so the neighbor over there says that that man sometimes comes over and talks with y'all?
He does, Bill.
Is it a regular thing that he comes over?
Well, not a regular thing, but Chase with us, or we'll buy a little something, and he works at the McDonald's right down here.
Okay.
And so the one all the way at the
On Grant.
Grant.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's just kind of one of those good that he just watches.
Used to be an old teacher, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's Christy Jo Waite, the name owner of the business, and the woman next to her is Susan Sharp. They both saw William 2 days ago.
When's the last time you saw him or his car?
She just said,
I have not seen it probably 2 days, but
That's what he's saying.
I'm not for sure when the last time that I know it's been 2 days that it has not
Okay.
been out there.
Christy agreed that William disappearing like this was unusual. In fact, she admitted that if she had to guess who might cause trouble in the neighborhood, she would have pointed at Denton first.
because he'll even tell us sometime we're going to be gone, or something, or but he didn't said anything like that to us, and he just watches our place. The next people next door, we've had some problems. I mean, not us necessarily, but they fight out there. But Bill's always been really great.
Right.
To watch our place.
Okay.
After the officer learned he supposedly worked at McDonald's, she decided to call the employer. But if he worked there, he probably wouldn't be listed as Bill. They should have checked under his legal name. The landlord, Bob, answered his phone right away.
Hey, this is Officer Hendricks with the Portsmouth Police Department. Is this Bob? Okay, I'm here to check the welfare of one of your tenants at 1802 South Greenwood.
The moment he heard police were calling about one of his tenants, his mind jumped straight to Denton. In his eyes, Denton was always the one causing problems, not William. Bob told the officer he would head over immediately with the keys. The officer called McDonald's again, and this time used the name William Dubois. Even then, the manager said no one by that name worked there.
It's McDonald's, right? I've seen him somewhere and I just can't.
People in the area knew Denton had frequent arguments at his house, often involving different women. Recently, he had even asked the shop owner to call William for him, saying his daughter had stolen his phone. It ended up taking Bob about 40 minutes to get there. When he finally arrived, he brought the keys with him. Officers unlocked the door and stepped inside the home. What they were about to see was something none of them were expecting.
I know what it is.
And there's no TV in the living room.
Inside the bathroom, they found William's body. It quickly became clear that this wasn't a natural death. The scene suggested something else entirely, possibly a burglary gone wrong. What started as a simple welfare check in Fort Smith had just turned into a homicide investigation.
Is that splatter on the door frame?
What?
Is that splatter on the door frame?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There's a dot right there.
No, I was just gonna tell him. The guy said. So you think he was like? It's weird. 'Cause there was. Maybe his door was unlocked. There's no phone either.
The scene was rough. Blood splatter showed up in several parts of the house. Many electronics were gone. William's car was missing too. It looked like he fought back. One thing stood out to the officers. The walls were thin. If a struggle like this happened, how did Denton next door not hear anything?
He said he heard a loud noise that, like I said, the people across the street said they would suspect him.
The same neighbor who called 911, Denton Stringer, was now starting to look like the main suspect.
I didn't even notice his TV's missing too. TV's missing. No wallet, no phone.
Most TVs, he had one in the bedroom too.
Yeah. No forced entry. I think we need to talk to this guy.
William's front door had been locked from the outside. Denton lived close enough that William could have given him a spare key. Because of that, investigators started focusing on him. They needed to figure out if he was just a worried neighbor or someone who knew much more about what happened to William Dubois.
Yeah, I talked with them over there. They said he comes over a lot and talks with them. And they said if anything ever happened to him, it would be because of somebody over in his apartment. This guy's the one that called it in. He said around Tuesday, he believes it was Tuesday. Okay. But on Tuesday, he said around 11 p.m., he heard a loud noise. Said as if somebody fell to the ground. But he didn't hear anything after that, didn't see anything, nothing like that. There's no force. I said, does he ever have people come over? He says every now and then his wife and his daughter and their grandson come over, but that's about it.
If Denton's timeline was right, William had been dead for more than 48 hours, but the body was still in relatively good condition. The AC was turned all the way up. Fans were running throughout the house. The place had been ransacked meticulously. Whoever did this had time and made sure the scene would sit unnoticed. Shelves and drawers were open all over the house. Several valuables were gone. At first, it looked like a robbery, but there were no signs of forced entry. That changed the whole picture. The person responsible likely had a key. This wasn't looking like a random break-in. It suggested someone who knew William.
Could be a burglary. Could be somebody that he wronged in the past, and they're coming back for vengeance.
The landlord, Bob, had William's wife listed as the emergency contact. When he learned William had died, he wanted to call her, but officers asked him to wait. Not long after that, William's son arrived at the house.
That's his son. That's his son.
Turns out his cousin had seen the police outside the home and called him right away.
60-something. My mom's at home. My cousin just came and showed up and told me that you guys were over here.
Okay.
William had some health problems, so the family first assumed he may have passed away naturally.
He's had, like, strokes and everything.
That's when William's son mentioned something important. The red Ford Focus was brand new and had a tracker installed. The car was technically owned by William's wife, Susan Dubois, and she could track it using a phone app.
Black box in the tracker, yeah.
Only Susan had access to that tracker.
We're gonna go to his house and break it to mom, okay? His wife, which they are married, okay?
We're going right now.
That's my cousin Justin.
Okay. You want to get in your car and we'll follow you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what they did. Officers drove to Susan's home. They needed to notify her about William's death, but they also needed that tracking information. The missing red Ford Focus was now a priority for the entire Fort Smith Police Department. Whoever had that car could be the killer. William and Susan Dubois were separated, but never officially divorced. Their son and daughter lived with her. The children weren't very close to William anymore, but the news still hit Susan hard.
Hi, Miss Susan. I'm Officer Hendricks. I'm sorry meeting you under these circumstances.
I know you.
You know me?
I've seen you at Northside Games.
I have been there. I can tell by the way you're acting that you've already been notified, okay?
They needed her help to find the car as quickly as possible.
In every death investigation, we do a complete investigation from top to bottom because we don't want to leave any stone unturned. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a retired nurse, so.
Okay. Well, and we're not saying this is a homicide at this point, okay?
No, he
But-
had a heart condition
Right.
and strokes.
And he could have fell and hit his head, but there's some blood there that we're concerned about. Does that make sense?
He probably fell.
Okay.
He
And
was
now,
acting so strange Saturday.
Here's our biggest issue. He was acting strange Saturday? Okay. Here's our biggest issue we have right now is the car is missing.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Where's your tracker?
Do you have a tracker on that
Yes.
car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Using the tracking app, Susan located it. The car was sitting in a residential neighborhood.
It's parked at a house. Oh, snap.
And it's
Police rushed to the address and spotted the red Ford Focus parked in the driveway.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
How you doing?
Y'all live here?
I don't. I'm from you.
Okay. You live here?
No, I just come to yard.
Okay.
That's when the officer noticed movement inside the house.
What's wrong?
They're looking out the window. We got people looking out the window, so let's
Can I go?
go inside. Let's go get your wallet.
Can I go too?
No. You can go. You can do whatever you gotta do. Hang tight for me right here. We're gonna all go over here. Let's all go over here.
The same neighbor who called 911, Denton Stringer, was now starting to look like the main suspect.
I didn't even notice his TV's missing too. TV's missing. No wallet, no phone.
Someone in the house looked like they were trying to stay out of sight. The officers knew this could turn dangerous. Anyone behind that door was now a person of interest. 2 people were taken into custody outside the house. but officers could see others were still inside, and they had barricaded themselves in.
Somebody just shut the front door. Okay, so basically, they came out the back. They tried to go out the back. They said they were going outside to smoke. Somebody just shut the front door on me, so... Yeah, that's what... I'm trying not to be a sitting duck.
The yard looked freshly mowed, which matched what one of the men had told officers. The property was under a lease belonging to Randall Perkins.
Police Department.
Hey, come out with your hands up. We know you're in here. Come out. Fort Smith Police Department. Go ahead, hold traffic.
People started coming out one by one.
It's okay. It's okay. Just come out on the side of the house.
What have we done wrong?
Who else is here?
It's an investigation.
Investigation.
We're going to explain that. We're going to explain that. Who else is in here? Come on.
What's going on?
Just walk out to that side of the house for me. Who else is in here? Is anybody else in here? Just walk out here. Right here. To the right.
Then a woman stepped outside. The officer immediately recognized her.
That's Taylor Elkins. Who else is in here?
She had a long record. Just the week before, officers had been there with child services and removed her children.
Get over there so they don't think you're a snitch. Get over there. Okay, get over there.
She appeared to be struggling and may have just ended up in the wrong situation. She told officers there were still more people inside the house.
Come out with your hands up. Keep your hands in the air where I can see them. Keep your hands in the air where I can see them. Good. Keep walking. Keep walking. Walk toward me. Okay. Randall, go ahead. Step off that porch and to your right on the side of the house, okay? Who else is back here?
I don't know who came out.
This is a very serious investigation. Fort Smith Police Department, this is your last opportunity. Come out with your hands up.
Officers kept calling for the last person to come out. No one answered. Eventually, they cleared the house. At that point, everyone was already outside on the lawn. Background checks were run on the group. One of them turned out to be a wanted man.
He's gonna warn.
Oh, man, out of all of them.
I know that.
That's all right.
When officers started asking about the red Ford Focus, every person there pointed to the same person. 21-year-old mother of two, Taylor Elkins. Police separated Taylor from the rest of the group.
Officer Hendricks, obviously. Did he read you your Miranda rights? He did. Like your rights to an attorney, everything like that. Okay, it's not stolen yet. That's where we're at. Okay. Okay. Why'd you say there was a white guy in there? There's a white guy in there. Did you say there was a white guy or the other girl? Okay, that must have been the. Where'd you get the car?
I already told him.
You tell me.
Okay, that boardwalk is just like a friend. That's it. A friend let me park.
Who's the friend?
His name's Sean, but I don't know his last name.
White or black?
He's white. And like, a lot of shit's been happening to me. I've been, and I went to John Crawford. But my kids got taken from me and everything. You know what I'm saying? And I've been having to do shit, and I have no way anywhere. So
She told officers she got the car from a man named Sean. According to her, he was a user. She didn't know his last name, didn't have his number, and had no idea where he was.
he thought it was stolen.
No, I didn't say it was stolen.
No, I'm saying like I don't know.
Okay.
Sean liked her and had simply let her borrow the car.
Did you give him any money for it or anything?
No, like he likes me like that. We're just friends.
What's his name on Facebook?
I don't know. I don't have a phone. I don't get on my Facebook
Okay.
anymore.
All right.
Like,
Where do you live at?
You know where I live at.
On Windsor?
Yes.
That is correct. The officer knew exactly where she lived, and that cracked the case wide open.
Greenwood address is her grandparents' house.
Who? 1802?
Yeah, I'll swear to you. She's bonded out to that address out of Crawford County. She's got like 10 felonies pending.
You've got to be kidding me.
During a previous arrest, Taylor had listed her address as her grandparents' home. It was the same duplex where William Dubois lived.
Oh.
Taylor Elkins was the granddaughter of Denton Stringer.
Sarge. Her address is the neighbor's address. Huh? Her address is the neighbor's 1800 something that is her uncle or her grandpa or her dad.
That's what I'm telling you. That's her grandpa's house. She's bonded out there because I arrested her 2 weeks ago, and then like a week after,
She's got domestic assault. The guy that called
Whoa.
Now, the two main suspects were linked. Taylor was Denton's granddaughter. She was likely the same daughter people had mentioned earlier during the investigation.
I talked to the business owners at that little resale thing across the street. They said if anything bad happened to the guy in 1802, it's going to be the people at 1800.
But what officers uncovered next would shift the focus almost entirely onto Taylor.
She's on camera leaving, on the Ballman cameras leaving on the 8th with this vehicle.
With this connection and the stolen car, investigators began to see her role in William's death more clearly. Taylor Elkins was taken in for a formal interrogation. Detectives put her in an interview room and left her alone for about 10 minutes.
You finna tell it all.
So, you know why you're down here, right?
Yeah.
Well, why are you down here?
Supposedly the car is stolen. I don't know. I had it in my. Well, I didn't have it in my. I don't know how to say it. It wasn't in my property. I wasn't in the car or nothing like that, but it was stolen and everybody pointed their fingers at me. And I mean, I admitted to driving it, so yeah.
Okay. So, you said it wasn't on your property, but everybody pointed at you.
Basically. I mean,
so,
it was.
So basically you drove the car there then, or they wouldn't
Yeah,
have
I
known
mean, there's no denying that, yeah.
Okay. How long have you had the car?
For a couple days.
Like when? Today's Thursday, so when did you get the car?
Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, I don't know.
According to her timeline, she received the car around midnight. That happened to be around the same time William was last seen alive.
And where did you get it from?
This dude named Sean.
Sean who?
I don't know his last name. I don't know his last name. I say hey to him basically. He's just a friend. Like he does drugs, you know. So I mean, I don't know everybody's last name.
Taylor told the detective that after child services took her kids away, she was devastated. She said she had been spending time with her cousin and her aunt during those days. At some point, a man named Sean offered her a car, and she borrowed it. Later, she ended up at the house, where officers eventually detained her. Though surprisingly, she didn't really know anyone there.
I went to McDonald's after we left Clarksville.
Okay.
So when we came back, we stopped at McDonald's and went back to the house.
Okay. You haven't been nowhere else?
No, I didn't go anywhere this
You
morning.
been arrested lately?
Yeah.
When's the last time you were arrested?
Last week.
Last
That's
week?
when I got my kids taken.
Okay.
It was Miller and this other guy.
Okay, what address did you use when you moved out?
It's Windsor.
You sure?
Where's my grandpa's?
Who's your grandpa?
Denton.
Didn't.
Stringer. See, that's why I bought it out too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Did
bought
he,
it.
did he bond you out?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Where's his
He
address?
can't afford it. 1800.
1800 what?
Greenwood Avenue.
Taylor confirmed that Denton Stringer was her grandfather. She also admitted she had been driving William's car for a few days. The detective then wanted to know, was she at her grandfather's place when the crime happened?
So how often do you go to grandpa's?
I've not been there for days.
When's the last time you were over there?
Today.
Okay, when's the last time prior to that you were over there?
2 days ago.
Taylor said yes. She was at Denton's house during the same period when William Dubois was killed.
It's over.
The detective then asked about her connection to William.
You know any of the neighbors around there?
My uncle's a neighbor.
Who's your uncle?
Chris
Chris. Oh, well. Chris who?
Campbell.
So what about the guy that lives right next door to him? You know him?
Yes.
Who's that?
His name's Bill.
Bill what?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know people's last names.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old is Bill?
Huh?
How old is Bill?
Oh, I don't know.
When's the last time you seen Bill?
I don't know. I don't know. He works during the day. He works during the day.
Where's he work at?
My grandpa said he's a school teacher and then McDonald's.
Okay.
I don't know how the hell he does both, but he does.
Wow.
Instead of pushing that question further, the detective turned the conversation toward the car to see how she would react.
So this car you've been riding around in, whose car is that?
I don't know.
You never seen that car before?
I've seen it.
Where?
There.
Where?
Oh,
Where, Taylor?
Uh-oh.
Where, Taylor?
You just messed up, Taylor.
there.
I think you kind of knew that.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Uh-oh.
didn't.
It's over for you,
I think
Taylor.
you did.
I didn't.
I think you know Bill.
I know Bill, yeah. I
How
told
well do
you.
you know him?
I don't know him that well.
And when's the last time you seen him?
Like I said, like he comes in and out. I don't know. I don't pay attention to him. Like he ain't nothing to me.
Really?
He ain't nothing to me.
You got all defensive all of a sudden on me. I'm just kind of
Because
curious.
you all look at my face now.
No, you got all defensive before I ever scoot over
No,
and talk
like
to
you're
you.
in my face. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I want to make sure that we're understanding each other.
and we are.
Okay.
I don't, like, I don't know. I don't even, like, pay attention. I be doing my own thing all the time.
Okay.
So, I ain't
Oh,
thinking.
you know Bill.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out if you're being honest with me.
Taylor acted like she had just realized the car belonged to William. The detective obviously didn't buy that.
So Sean
Mhm.
gave you the car,
Yeah.
and you had no idea it was Bill's car.
How am I supposed to know it's Bill's car? I didn't go through it.
Well, you're a smart girl. You just figured it out real quick.
Because I'm looking at it now, like, what they put it.
So
Like,
why would-
how could it be his car, though?
So how does Sean know Bill?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
He does.
He knows over, though. Like,
But he does. Sean knows Bill, right? He's been over there, and he's seen Bill too.
I mean, I'm sure he has.
He stepped out of the interview room and left her sitting alone again. By that point, she had already placed herself near the scene and admitted driving the victim's car. Sitting alone in that room, she had time to think up more stories. But the more she talked, the harder it would be to keep them straight. One thing she couldn't deny was driving the dead man's car. Investigators already had her on CCTV behind the wheel of the red Ford Focus. After about 40 minutes, the detective returned. This time he spoke differently. He hinted that they already knew a lot about where she had been.
So let me ask you something. You have a phone? You don't have a phone? How come?
My daughter started it.
Taylor, you went to your dad's today. Were you there earlier this week, like Monday or Tuesday? Well, let me rephrase that. You were there earlier this week, and you had 2 white males with you. Who were those 2 white guys that were with you? Because I've already talked to your grandpa. Okay, and right there beside your grandpa at that school.
Yeah.
That school's got video, and it showed you showing up with 2 white males. I'm just kind of curious. Who are those 2 white males on?
With this connection and the stolen car, investigators began to see her role in William's death more clearly. Taylor Elkins was taken in for a formal interrogation. Taylor kept pretending she didn't understand the situation. The detectives stopped circling the issue and confronted her directly. She was now the main suspect in a murder investigation, and it was time to start telling the truth.
So, you don't think that's Bill's car?
I mean, if it is, that's
It is amazing. Do you know why that's Bill's car? Because he's dead. They beat him to death. And you're driving the car from a man who's been beat to death. I don't know that you ain't got something to do with it. You want to play tough girl with me, and let me tell you, this is not going to work out for you real good. He's been beat to death.
No.
You think I'm lying? Why the hell do you think I'm here? Do you know why I'm here? Do you know what my title is? Homicide. Hey, it's got real. You talk about losing your girls, you're going to lose them for a lifetime.
I didn't do anything, though.
You know what? You're knee deep in this shit right now. This is got real. You better start coming clean with it.
I told you.
I'm just letting you know. Here's where we're at, Taylor. I'm going to be honest with you. Today, you know what today is? Today is July the 11th of 2019. Okay, I want you to remember this day. Because this is the day that determines how the rest of your life goes. Just listen to me. You don't say a word. You just sit here and process this. This can go either really good for Taylor, or this can go really bad for Taylor, because I can promise you I'm really good at what I do. Okay? I am promising you. So, if you give a damn about Bill, if you didn't kill him, if you didn't beat the hell out of that old man, you're driving the car that was taken after they beat him. You better come up with who had this damn car, or who you took over there with you that seen him and went back and targeted him.
I told you I got to
Listen to me. Here's the truth. You better start coming up with some full names. Because you know what? Who do you need to think of right now? Who's the most important person in your life right now?
The detective leaned into that moment, hoping the pressure would finally break through her defenses.
You're driving around a dead man's car.
I didn't know he was dead. I was scared.
But you know the people who probably killed him.
I told you I got the car.
Sean who?
She repeated the same story. A man named Sean had given her the car. But the detective had already looked into that. There were 2 men named Sean connected to people in her circle.
In the apartment that you pointed out?
Yeah.
The guy, old man died in it, had a heart attack and died in one last week, and the other one's got an old woman that lives in it.
If Sean doesn't exist, then it's Taylor who is the killer.
I'm giving you an opportunity right now.
Okay, I'm telling you.
Okay, tell me.
I told you. I'm telling you. Like, bro.
Let me ask you this. If you had to get Sean right now, where would you go get him at? What apartment number?
In the corner, there's 4, 5, 6, 7. It's either 5 or 6. I don't know all this.
Who did you stay with?
A woman.
A woman. How old?
I don't know. Older than me.
Feeling boxed in, she said it could be Sean.
Okay, talk to me. Why do you see Sean doing this, Taylor?
He's a drug addict. He's crazy. You know, he has problems. But I don't.
Are you scared, Sean? This is the only opportunity you're going to have, Taylor.
Oh, wow.
See, you know, you and Sean probably talk.
No, I didn't know this when I was.
Well, you have some knowledge, but you're scared of Sean, ain't you?
Well, of course.
Think he'll kill you too?
No, I didn't think he came for me. I did. I don't know. I don't know.
She found an opening and blamed everything on Sean.
We need to know who Sean is.
He's an evil person.
We need to know who he is, Taylor.
He's an evil person. Like, I don't want to tell nobody. Like,
you don't want to tell nobody?
I'm scared.
So you're willing to go to prison for him?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like...
You know who he is, Taylor.
Listen to me. Like,
listen, I'm not through saying I'm ready to just put you in jail.
You ruined my life by giving me all the needles. They got my baby taken from me.
Taylor claimed Sean had assaulted her, ruined her life, and played a role in her losing custody of her kids.
I get it for free because he likes me. That's the truth. Okay? That's the truth.
I'll be back in a minute.
The story suggested she had known Sean for a while, but something about it didn't add up. Every time the detective asked for details about him, Taylor said she only knew his first name. The detective returned with a photo lineup of men named Sean and asked her to point him out.
If this goes to trial and he goes send him to prison, he may find out then, but he won't be able to get to you. Well, if he killed this man, I'm going to put him in prison. He deserves to go to prison if he killed this poor old man. You should see how bad he was beaten.
No, I'm scared because...
I understand that, hon. I understand that, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure he doesn't hurt you. Okay?
He's a big man, you know?
Well, I'm a big dude, too. Search for the photograph. This guy used to give you the card.
After she finally identified Sean, the detective stepped out of the room to run a background check. What Taylor didn't realize was that this move was about to collapse the story she had just built.
So this is the guy you said you got the car from?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? What told you he's in jail? What told you he's been in jail since June the 6th? You think I'm making this up?
No.
So if he's in jail, how did he give you the car? You better rethink this, Taylor.
Investigators quickly confirmed that her story wasn't true.
You're going to jail.
For what?
Well, for theft by receiving and for obstructing government operations for a homicide investigation. So here's what we're going to do before we go, though. We're going to have to swab your hands and get your DNA. So it's part of the homicide investigation. So we'll be coming in here in just a sec to do that, okay?
Up to that point, she had acted confused. But when the detective mentioned she had been caught with a stolen car, her tone changed. She was much sharper than she was pretending to be.
That's just so confusing. How can you investigate? The car's not stolen.
It was reported stolen.
Not by him, though.
So you'll get your day in court.
Taylor was then taken to a holding cell for the night while detectives continued gathering evidence. The next day, she was brought back in. Her behavior had now changed again. The confidence she showed earlier was gone. Now, she looked nervous and uncertain. Taylor said William Dubois was beaten to death. The cause of death was blunt force trauma, with 27 separate injuries across his body.
But you don't believe anything?
I'm sorry?
You don't believe anything?
I don't believe liars. Okay? And you're a damn liar.
You need to be out there getting a real killer.
Well, you need to be helping us. If you even cared about the old man that's been beat to death and shot, you need to be helping us. I want you to remember that picture every night of your life.
Of course you do.
Every night.
During questioning, Taylor said she didn't even know William had died, but when the detective mentioned a gun, she quickly corrected him. That reaction raised more suspicion.
You definitely know more than you're telling us. It's not the first time that me and you've talked. I've been out multiple times where you have jumped on people and beat people up.
Her behavior kept changing. One moment she seemed scared. The next moment she sounded irritated and defensive again.
I've been out multiple times for you jumping on people. You have a bad temper.
I don't think that's why you've been
You
called out.
explode, and you do stuff that you regret afterwards.
I don't regret.
You have way more information than you're telling us.
Detectives asked where she was on the night of the murder. Taylor said she was asleep at her grandfather Denton Stringer's house. What she didn't know was that detectives had already spoken to him.
So, here's where we have a problem, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your grandpa has told us that during the night on Tuesday, he heard loud noises from Bill's house. And it woke him up. He then saw that you were not there.
I don't know how. That was bad.
And then the next morning, you're gone, and the car is also gone.
That should have been a tough position to recover from. Still, Taylor tried to explain her way around it.
I don't know, because what time did you hear the loud noises?
I don't know what time that was.
Because the only thing I think of me not being there, I was at the casino. But other than that, I was at my grandpa's. I was asleep at my grandpa's.
When did you go to the casino?
Like 5.
And why didn't you tell me that?
I mean, I told you I left early in the morning.
That part of her story checked out. She had been there. After that, detectives allowed her to call her mother. When she returned from the phone call, she brought up a new name, Joseph Rogers.
I'd like to ask you for you to tell us the truth.
That's true. I mean, I told y'all the truth today, but I didn't tell y'all all of it. But I told y'all the truth.
Taylor, then do us a favor, just start from the beginning. Whatever you told us in the past, we're not going to even bring it up. So just tell us in the beginning what happened and exactly the truth the way it happened, okay?
Joe came over that night. He that's when he asked me where my sugar daddy lived and all that. That was true. I told him, he pointed out my uncle and said, no, that's where my uncle lives. And I told him where he lived. And, he told me that, he asked me what he had in the house, and I told him that he didn't have shit. Like, he didn't have nothing to even do anything with. And then he told me that he's like, will you knock on the door? I knocked on the door. And then he went in, I left. That's when I went to McDonald's, and I came back. He told me he took care of it. I didn't kill him, though. I didn't do nothing like that. I kept asking him what happened. He kept telling me that he took care of it, that it's okay, that he finished it, blah, blah, there's nothing to come about it. And he just kept telling me that he's like, to get rid of the TVs, blah, blah, blah. He said I'm not touching them. And that's when I had to keep on him. Like, I didn't know. If I knew all that, I would have took his car. Believe me, if I knew he was dead like that. Where,
William Dubois was beaten to death. The cause of death was blunt force trauma, with 27 separate injuries across his body.
If you don't believe anything.
I'm sorry?
You don't believe anything?
I don't believe liars. Okay? And you're a damn liar.
You need to be out there getting a real killer.
Well, you need to be helping us. If you even cared about the old man that's been beat to death and shot, you need to be helping us. I want you to remember that picture every night of your life.
Of course you do.
Every night.
During questioning, Taylor said she didn't even know William had died, but when the detective mentioned a gun, she quickly corrected him. That reaction raised more suspicion.
You definitely know more than you're telling us. It's not the first time that me and you've talked. I've been out multiple times where you have jumped on people and beat people up.
Her behavior kept changing. One moment she seemed scared. The next moment she sounded irritated and defensive again.
I've been out multiple times for you jumping on people. You have a bad temper.
I don't think that's when you've been
You
called out.
explode, and you do stuff that you regret afterwards.
I don't regret.
You have way more information than you're telling us.
Detectives asked where she was on the night of the murder. Taylor said she was asleep at her grandfather Denton Stringer's house. What she didn't know was that detectives had already spoken to him.
So, here's where we have a problem, okay? Your grandpa has told us that during the night on Tuesday, he heard loud noises from Bill's house. And it woke him up. He then saw that you were not there.
I don't know how. That was a mess.
And then the next morning, you're gone, and the car is also gone.
That should have been a tough position to recover from. Still, Taylor tried to explain her way around it.
I don't know, because what time did you hear loud noises?
I don't know what time that was.
Because the only thing I think of me not being there, I was at the casino. But other than that, I was at my grandpa's. I was asleep at my grandpa's.
When did you go to the casino?
Like 5.
And why didn't you tell me that?
I told you I left early in the morning.
That part of her story checked out. She had been there. After that, detectives allowed her to call her mother. When she returned from the phone call, she brought up a new name, Joseph Rogers.
I'd like to ask you for you to tell us the truth.
The truth, I told y'all the truth today, but I just didn't tell y'all all of it. But I told y'all the truth.
Taylor, then do us a favor, just start from the beginning. Whatever you told us in the past, we're not going to even bring it up. So just tell us from the beginning what happened and exactly the truth the way it happened, okay?
Joe came over that night. That's when he asked me where my sugar daddy lived and all that. That was true. I told him, he pointed out my uncle and said, no, that's where my uncle lives. And I told him where he lived. And he told me that he asked me what he had in the house, and I told him that he didn't have shit. Like, he didn't have nothing to even do anything with. And then he told me that he's like, will you knock on the door? I knocked on the door. And then he went in, I left. That's when I went to McDonald's, and I came back. He told me he took care of it. I didn't kill him, though. I didn't do nothing like that. I kept asking him what happened. He kept telling me that he took care of it, that it's okay, that he finished it, blah, blah, there's nothing to come about it.
I don't know why I played this part twice.
He just kept telling me that he's like, to get rid of the TVs, blah, blah, blah. He said I'm not touching them. And that's when I had to keep on him. Like, I didn't know. If I knew all that, I would have took his car. Believe me, if I knew he was dead like that. Where,
William Dubois was beaten to death. The cause of death was blunt force trauma. Taylor said a man named Joe had loaded televisions into the car and handed her the keys before walking away. She drove to the casino afterward, where Joe later showed up again. According to her, he had no blood on him, either at the house or at the casino. By this point, detectives had heard several versions of the story, so they asked her to take a polygraph test. Taylor agreed, but when the test results came back, it was certain she was lying again. When confronted again, she came up with another story. This time she admitted the robbery had been her idea, but she said she didn't kill William. She claimed Joe Rogers did. All she did was knock on the door so William would open it, and then Joe stepped in.
His assumption of a sugar daddy is that he's got money and he's got stuff, and that's why he showed up. Did you invite him over to say let's do this, or he just showed up?
He came over.
Did he ever come into the apartment with you and your grandpa?
Mm-hmm.
You went out and talked to him? And he wanted to know where sugar daddy lived?
Mm-hmm.
And did he tell you what he was going to do? Did he say, hey, we're going to rob him, we're going to get some money so we get out?
He said that he was going to take him, but I figured rob, not kill.
Is it possible Bill started to put up a fight?
So I was thinking robbery on that.
So you've been in Bill's apartment several times.
Mm-hmm.
There's a red blanket in there.
Mm-hmm.
Where did Bill keep that red blanket?
On the couch.
Well, I'm just wondering if you ever seen him over there, like if you ever seen him wrapped up in it, whatever. What was Bill wearing when he entered the door?
I don't know. Pants. Like bed shorts.
Bed shorts?
Mm-hmm.
What did he have a shirt on? Do you remember?
I don't know.
When officers found William Dubois inside his home, he was wearing black shorts and no shirt.
You're just getting on my nerves right now. I'm not in the mood today. I've had...
Well, I really don't give a shit if you're in the mood or not.
Of course you don't.
All right?
You're a rude person.
I'm not a rude person.
Yes, you are.
You're a rude, cold, heartless murderer. That's what you are.
No, I'm not.
Look at you. You have no defense for yourself.
I'm not, though.
Because you killed the old man.
No, I didn't. I know what I'm capable of. I'm not
Yeah, you're capable of that. You're right in the middle of all of it. And why you don't think you think you're so tough?
I told you what happened.
You ain't told us nothing. You make up everything to point the finger at everybody else. You're not going to quit.
Okay.
You're going to keep having your little nightmares that you have, and I hope you do for the rest of your fucking life.
A few hours later, the detective sat down with Taylor Elkins again. He had already spoken with her grandfather, Denton Stringer, and asked him whether he had seen a man named Joe that night. Denton said he had not, but he also mentioned something that made the detective question Taylor's latest story.
Well, you know we talked to your grandpa.
Yeah.
Your grandpa specifically says that you said, let's go rob the old man. And your grandpa told you, Taylor, we're not robbing the old man. Why would your grandpa tell us that?
Probably just get out of trouble. Like,
What
I don't know.
trouble did he be in?
I don't know. Like I said, everything points back to me, but I didn't.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm just being honest with you. What your
That's
grandpa
fine.
said, and I'm curious why he would say that.
I don't know.
Did you make that comment?
No.
Were you needing some money? Could you have made that bid so high? Maybe you were needing money that you maybe said something like that? Maybe not being clear about what you're saying. I mean, is that possible? Surely he's not just making it up.
I don't think I ever said, let's go rob the next door neighbor. I don't think I said that.
So what do you think you could have said? That your grandpa could misunderstand? What do you think?
Rob somebody, but not rob the next door neighbor. That wasn't said, and I know for a fact I wasn't said, because I've never thought about that. I've never thought about robbing the next door neighbor. You don't have shit to rob.
You ever robbed anybody?
No.
Taylor insisted she never went inside William's apartment after Joe entered. She said she never touched the televisions either. According to her, Joe only handed her William's pills and the car, nothing else. She repeated that she stayed outside the entire time and never stepped into the apartment after Joe was finished. But detectives already had reasons to believe she was lying again.
So I was at the murder scene. I was there watching him. I was there
tell me.
like which one? Like that's how y'all are acting. I don't know. I was not there. I was not there.
You were there.
No,
Yeah, you were there.
no, I wasn't.
Yeah. You were there.
So now I was there. At
You were there. We got things that we're going to collect and we're going to be able to prove.
Investigators knew that William Dubois had fought back. The attacker didn't bring him down right away. The scene showed signs that someone had tried to clean parts of the house after the attack, wiping areas of the floor to remove evidence. But one detail stood out. Officers found strands of hair clenched in William's hands. The color and texture of the hair matched Taylor's.
Uh-oh.
They have asked me to come in here and take some hair samples from you. We will try to make this as fast and pleasant as possible.
It was a young woman who lived just a few steps away. Someone connected to the very neighbor who called police to check if he was okay. But in the end, the evidence didn't bend. She never confessed during questioning, but later, while in custody, she admitted the truth to another inmate. She said she had gone to William's home planning to borrow money. When he told her he didn't have any, she got angry. In that moment, she grabbed a hammer and attacked him.
Damn.
Denton Stringer, Joseph Rogers, and the man she called Sean had nothing to do with the crime.
Damn.
They were names Taylor used to shift attention away from herself. Taylor Elkins tried to distance herself from the crime, but every version of her story only pulled her closer to it. And eventually, the investigation reached the same quiet truth waiting inside that small house on Greenwood Avenue.
Damn.
On October
Taylor.
9th, 2019, Taylor Elkins was charged with first-degree murder. In January 2020, she accepted a plea deal. The agreement removed the possibility of a life sentence, but it still meant decades behind bars. She received a sentence of more than 40 years in prison, with her first chance at parole set for 2059. Taylor said a man named Joe had loaded televisions into the car and handed her the keys before walking away. She drove to the casino afterward, where Joe later showed up again. According to her, he had no blood on him, either at the house or at the casino. By this point, detectives had heard several versions of the story.
Wow, that's it, y'all. Wow. Taylor was diabolical. All right, we're going to keep it rolling, man. We got how police captured Utah's most wanted serial killer couple. Let's go.
It all began with this photograph going viral. This is Adam Curtis Williams, photographed in Eagle Pass, Texas, as he crossed into Piedras Negras, Mexico. At the time, he was already wanted in the United States for sexual assault, resisting arrest, and assaulting a police officer. But that's not why the image went viral. It was because of the truck he was sitting in. That truck was stolen. After crossing the border, Adam drove deeper into Mexico, making his way toward Jalisco. He thought he had put enough distance between himself and the law. He hadn't. The U.S. Marshals found him. On November 7th, 2019, 33-year-old Adam Williams was extradited and flown back to Houston. Once he landed in the U.S., officers transported him by road to Kleberg County. At the Kleberg County Jail, the media was waiting for him.
Do you have their truck and their trailer? Where were you going? Did you know them at all? Why did you go to Mexico? Where were you headed?
Going to your homes with them? No. Thought there was more of them.
As up as they go.
Adam was no stranger to the system. By this point, he had built a long criminal history, and officers considered him extremely dangerous.
Well, so capital punishment is the case is called capital because in our Texas Code of Penal Code, we make it to capital the whole list.
Can you stick your finger in between there, bro?
And that would make it capital. Also because we think a robbery occurred at the time of the murder. That's not you're charged with that. That's okay.
Sleeping in handcuffs.
The handcuffs only came off once the officers were completely sure he could be handled safely. He was booked into jail and then later brought out of his cell for an interview.
Hey, sir. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. My name is Edward Rose with Texas Rangers. What's your name, sir? Adam.
David Farias, Kleberg County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
You heard that right. He was arrested for theft, but they're not here for that. They were there because of a capital murder investigation. For the first time, even Adam seemed to take notice.
I know you've got a couple of more incidents, a couple of other things going on in your criminal history, and you've been to prison, so you're probably going back to prison. And I just want you to make some good decisions in your life when you talk to your attorney, because the next time we talk is going to be post-indictment, and your attorney's going to be here and he's going to be representing us. In that time, I want you to think about it. You're going to have to walk the yard in a prison somewhere. So I just want you to think about the way you handle yourself on this one. Is it going to be a guy who said, I don't know anything about it, and we had to prove a case against? There's a guy who said, you know what? This and give yourself that credibility when you get there.
That's when they brought up Amanda. Adam wasn't the only one brought back from Mexico. Amanda Nover was also with him at the border toll booth, sitting beside him in the stolen truck. And when that footage went viral.
So I first met Adam actually through Facebook. At Facebook and POF. Okay. I don't know if you...
Plenty of Fish.
Yes. And he sent me messages and I seen his pictures and he was covered in tattoos and I was like, that guy's nothing but trouble, and so I ignored him for a long while. And then a friend of mine actually knew who he was and said, I think he's a good dude. And so I talked to him, and like the first message that I sent to Adam, like he was persistent and he's like, well, I want to meet you. And so the very first day of us even talking, he ended up coming to my house in Smithfield.
After the death of her mother, Amanda's life began to come apart. She separated from her husband. With no real support system around her, she slipped into a destructive phase that eventually brought her into Adam Williams' life in February.
He came over and I met him, and he's very like suave, I guess. He's very charismatic. And so all of his tattoos and everything, you kind of like see through all of that, and you see like this other person and everything. And
both of them were living in Logan, Utah when they met. The relationship moved fast, and in the beginning, it seemed to work, except for one rule.
when we met, he had like this rule that he could see and date anybody he wanted, but I wasn't allowed to. Like that, I guess, came from spending as much time in prison as he did, but I didn't.
How long was he in prison?
10 years is what I've been told, and I believe round about 10 years for selling marijuana.
Selling marijuana, okay.
Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of not the greatest in the beginning because, like, he actually had another girlfriend.
What?
When we met and she knew about me and I knew about her and everything like that. And it wasn't until like a few months after him and I had been seeing each other that he decided that he wanted to be with just me, and he made that decision. Like, that was his choice to not like see any other women or sleep with any other women or anything like that, and came fully devoted to me. And then I guess because he did that, like, I don't know, maybe in a sense I felt like I owed him something, and he'd been asking me to move in with him, and
It all began with this photograph going viral. This is Adam Curtis Williams, photographed in Eagle Pass, Texas, as he crossed into Piedras Negras, Mexico. At the time, he was already wanted in the United States for sexual assault, resisting arrest, and assaulting a police officer. But that's not why the image went viral. It was because of the truck he was sitting in. That truck was stolen. After crossing, Adam was a complicated man, carrying problems he never seemed able to outrun, and more than anything, he depended on his medication. He may have had a difficult past, but that did not change the reality of who he had become, a hardened criminal. For his own safety, Adam had to be kept separated from the general prison population. That's the kind of man he is, and Amanda still chose to move in with him.
he would get drunk and he would black out, and when he'd black out, he'd get violent. And he would turn into somebody completely different. It just completely different, but when he sobered up, he'd be back to himself and he wouldn't remember what happened.
She knew about his violent side. She had already seen it. Still, Amanda sold her trailer and prepared to start a life with him. But she had one condition.
Because I told him that there was no way I was going to move in with him if Ryan didn't have a room. He wanted to be a dad to Ryan, like in...
Ryan being your daughter?
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
When the U.S. Marshals arrested them in Mexico, Amanda's 3-year-old daughter was with them.
He was extremely rough around the edges, but, I mean, he made her a bedroom. His home only had one bedroom, but there was, like, this weird kind of laundry room basement type thing, and he actually put up walls and made her an actual bedroom. And
More than anything, Amanda wanted to stay home and be there for her daughter.
it's like I got to still be that stay-at-home mom and take care of Ryan and do what I'm good at, and that's being a homemaker. Like, I'm great at it, like, and I love doing it.
Adam, on the other hand, told her he was willing to support both of them financially.
And you were a stay-at-home mom at the time. Was he working?
Yes, actually, when I met him, he was working at Buffalo Wild Wings, and then he got a job at Neaters, and then it's a local bakery in Logan, and then he got a really, really good job working for Vividus Coatings, and he did like expensive concrete floor work, and so he got a really good job.
Amanda convinced herself she could live with his outbursts, his moods, and the violent blackouts that came when he drank, if it meant stability.
I've loved being a stay-at-home mom. I've loved my daughter more than anything. And I got that with Adam. I got to still be a stay-at-home mom. And so it definitely, probably one of the biggest reasons why I just kind of really grasped the relationship, if that makes sense.
Sure.
You know?
But comfort came at a price she did not fully see at the time. Not long after moving in, the neighbors began hearing fights late into the night. Then, one night, Adam lost control.
We were at my trailer at my house, and we had been drinking. Ryan was in bed, and like I was messaging somebody on my phone, and he took my phone from me and got upset about one of the messages, and like he smacked me, and like he threatened me and told me that he should freaking like make it so my face was unrecognizable, and it terrified me.
Even then, Amanda chose not to call the police. She ended the relationship, but by the next morning, Adam had sobered up and came back, sounding like a different man.
So he brought my phone back, and like he was crying and telling me how sorry he was, and you know that would never ever happen again. And I fell for it. Like I fell for that, and because I was done. I mean, nobody's ever smacked me like that, and I'm like,
Oh man.
But there was something about him, like, and so I continued to date him, like, and that was the first time, and he promised me that nothing.
His aggression only got worse, and before long, it happened again.
He got upset over something that was on my phone once again, and he smashed my phone, and I went to go leave, and I had made it out the front door, and he grabbed Ryan, and he shut the door, and he locked it, and I was standing outside, and I was screaming. I could hear her in there screaming, and like, because he knew I wouldn't leave my daughter. He knew that, like, nobody's gonna leave their child, no way. And I didn't have a phone, I didn't have my keys, I didn't have anything. And once again, I didn't want him to get in trouble. Like, I knew that in the morning when he sobered up, he'd be back to himself. And that he probably wouldn't remember these things. And so, you know, of course, I waited at the door and I banged on it, and he finally, well, it was only like a minute, and he let me back in, and he tried to like calm the situation down, and I stayed. I didn't leave because actually he wouldn't let me leave.
And this time, it was worse than before. Eventually, Amanda found the courage to report him.
He'd been drinking, but something I'd said or done, or something on my phone, he's an extremely jealous person, extremely, set him off, and in the kitchen, he picked me up by my throat and he held me up against the wall, and I was like kicking against him so hard because.
All right, you know what? I've been holding it for a long time. She enjoys this guy. She is thrilled and turned on by his antics. And this say killer couple, so I'm just trying to figure out when is it that she got involved. They doing a good job with the setup though. But at first I was feeling sorry, but I'm like, nah, shorty, you like that.
He was choking me, and when I kicked, my leg smashed into the stove, and I had a bruise, like half of my thigh because of it. And he let me down finally. There was another time that he pinned me down in the bathroom and smashed my head into the floor, which I've heard rumors that he actually did that to his girlfriend Rachel, which at the time, like, they were still dating too. There was one time I hit him back.
Okay.
That was once. Another time, neighbor's house, it was after I sold my house, I ran to the neighbor's house, and I had them call 911, and he got an assault charge for that.
She hoped the assault charge would finally force him to face what he had done, but that hope did not last for long.
This particular night with the coworker there, Ryan she wasn't home, and something ticked Adam off. I don't know what it was. Some jealous.
Hey, let's not get this. Let's not get this confused. I'm not saying that she's not a weak-minded individual, and she may be suffering from some issues, you know, some what you call attachment issues and abandonment issues, and you know she might suffer from low self-esteem. But from what I heard her say, she keeps saying it's something about him. What's the something? She likes it. She's turned on by it. She said, I wouldn't have said that if she didn't say that. I'm listening to what she's saying. And she like, well, he did this and he did that, but it was just something about him, so I just stayed. And I think because of the title of the video, this is her attempt to play victim and say she wasn't a part of any of the stuff that he was doing. We got to look at this objectively. Like, there's murder on the line here.
Thing or something I said, and Adam pinned me in the bedroom, and he smacked me, and his coworker's girlfriend called 911.
Okay.
And I remember I was on the floor of the bedroom, and I was trying to get out to the kitchen, but he was standing in the way, and so I tried to crawl past him, and he smashed my face in between his leg and the door jamb, and she seen it, and that's when she panicked, and nobody really will stand up to Adam. His coworker wouldn't. I mean, Adam, he's a big guy.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. Now let's not forget what we're watching. We're watching crime here, and she's laying it on thick, right? You know what I'm saying? And another thing that's killing me is he's sitting back twiddling his thumbs, just letting her run it all out. We got to look at this objectively.
And when he's in that state of mind, you don't
sit up here act like we just didn't see old girl lie to the ends of hell, talking about some other dude came and did the job, and the whole time it was her. My memory is really long. We just watched that. What are y'all talking about? She's definitely. Yeah, look, a whole bunch of people just left up out of here. I don't care if you in your feelings. We talking real right now. I just sat up here and said, see Shorty do the whole shake and bake and quiver and quake and all that, and she killed her Trick basically. Basically, Trick didn't give her no money, and with a hammer. Oh, okay, no, okay. She's like, okay, I just got here. Yeah, okay. Listen, I'm just putting two and two together. We just sat up here and watched a girl kill her Trick with a hammer because he ain't had no bread. Dumb too, because she paroled to the crib right next to it, and everybody in the neighborhood knew it was her. So to me, she's laying it on super duper thick. She is just, this is the worst boyfriend in the world. And I'm like, well, damn, at what point? And he said, you just said he put your knee in your head between the wash and dry. When was it ready? When was it time to go?
You don't stand up to him. You just don't. And he was in there, and he was sitting on the toilet, and he wouldn't let me. I was on the floor. He wouldn't let me get up. And the cops came, and they came in, and they tased him, and he tried to fight with them, and there was a lot of them. It all happened so fast. And
Adam was a complicated man.
And hold
and this time,
on, y'all. I seen what's love got to do with it. Okay, even Tina Turner tried to dip a couple times. It was her mama that pushed her back to Ike. Okay, her mama squealed and told Ike where she was. Tina Turner tried to get up out of there. Okay, I'm just saying.
Something ticked Adam off. I don't know what it was. He smacked me, and his coworker, and I remember I was on the floor of the bedroom, and I was trying to get out to the kitchen, but he was standing in the way, and so I tried to crawl past him, and he smashed my face in between his leg and the door jamb, and she seen it, and that's when she panicked, and nobody really will stand up to Adam. His coworker wouldn't. I mean, Adam, he's a big guy. And when he's in that state of mind, you don't stand up to him. You just don't. And he was in there, and he was sitting on the toilet, and he wouldn't let me. I was on the floor. He wouldn't let me get up.
Okay.
And the cops came, and they came in, and they tased him.
Okay.
And he tried to fight with them, and there was a lot of them. It all happened so fast, and they kind of got the better of him on that one. And that's where his, like, one of the most recent warrants came from, is because he got an assault on a police officer.
Okay.
And one of those, like, turned into a first degree assault.
While Amanda Nover was still trying to hold together her life with Adam in Logan, Utah, another couple was beginning a very different chapter nearly 2,000 miles away. Their names were James and Michelle Butler. James was a retired naval air traffic controller who had served for 21 years. He met Michelle during a visit back to his hometown in New Hampshire at a karaoke bar of all places. Both had been married before and both had children from their previous relationships. They dated for 5 years before marrying in 2015.
Okay.
Once the kids had grown up and moved out, they decided to follow a dream they had talked about for years, traveling the country together. They bought a brand new truck and trailer and took to the road. While the Butlers were beginning a happy cross-country retirement, Adam and Amanda's situation was the exact opposite. They were broke, unstable, and running out of options. On August 29th, Amanda and Adam got married. That same day, arrest warrants were issued for Adam. The newlyweds had to leave almost immediately.
Y'all aren't married at that point. You're still just dating.
Correct.
Okay. So he picked up the assault charges. Did you know when they became warrants, or did he know that when he was wanted?
In regards to the most recent assaults, when the officers came and tased him and he fought back, yes, because the day we got married, we didn't do a wedding or anything. We had a few friends over to the house. The police showed up and said they had a warrant for his arrest.
Okay.
And so, like, and literally as he's coming back, he sees that there's cops outside the house, and he turns around and drives off. And so we got married on August 29th, and that's when the officers came.
And this time, it was worse than before. Eventually, Amanda found the courage to report him.
He'd been drinking, but something I'd said or done, or something on my phone, he's an extremely jealous person, extremely, set him off. And in the kitchen, he picked me up by my throat and he held me up against the wall, and I was like kicking against him so hard because he was choking me. And when I kicked, my legs smashed into the stove, and I had a bruise, like half of my thigh because of it. And he let me down finally. There was another time that he pinned me down in the bathroom and smashed my head into the floor, which I've heard rumors that he actually did that to his girlfriend Rachel, which at the time, like, they were.
Hold on, I had to play that over again, but was she laying it on thick or was she laying it on super
Amanda
thick?
knew one of the assault charges came from her own complaint. At first, she thought she could take it back and protect her husband. But then, she learned another charge had been filed by one of Adam's ex-girlfriends, a much more serious charge. Deep down, Amanda knew it was not made up.
Like, I know what I read was true, like what she stated. And, like, I don't know that, like, firsthand. I just know that because, I mean, he'd done the same thing to me. So, the incident with this gal happened, and I looked at the date, and what she had put in her report. So Adam and we had gotten into a fight earlier that night, because what he did to her, he did to me, like, same exact night.
Same day.
Same day. And she called and pressed charges. Like, she went to a doctor and everything like that, and she...
What is it about this dude? Is he the best carpet muncher? Is he slinging what's up with this dude? This dude got the magic stick. These broads is taking all types of abuse. How you abuse two broads the same way in the same day? How does that work? This boy got the secret to life in his pants or something. What kind of game or what in the holy hypnotized manipulation game does he have? What is he saying to these chicks? Is this how the chicks end in Utah? The hell?
We pressed charges about it.
Now, Adam was wanted for very serious crimes, and just 2 days after the wedding, they left Logan, Utah.
Oh, so did y'all leave Utah because he was wanted and they were looking for him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you left Utah, where did you go?
We went to Washington.
Okay, so you drive 9-12 hours to Washington. Where do you go?
We go to his Uncle Dave's. He owns property, like, in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And they basically, like, they run off of solar power, and they
off the grid, huh?
go and collect their own water, and like they live off grid.
Off grid.
That sounds terrible.
Adam was making good money in Utah, and he still had some savings left. His plan was to start over in Washington.
And he had this really big garage that was unfinished, and we were going to build an apartment, and we started to, and everything was great. Like, we were there for a month. Well, okay, when I say everything was great on the building aspect, not everything else, but the building part, like, it was all going really well, and the paychecks that Adam had, like, prior, because it goes in advance, is what was like buying the building materials and everything like that. And so we were building an apartment, and once we got it basically all enclosed and everything pretty much like good to go, he got into an argument with Dave, and Dave was afraid of him, and Dave told us that we had to leave and kicked us out of there. Like, that short of a notice, like, you have to go because Adam has a temper.
So y'all leave Washington, where do you go?
We start driving, and we don't know. We go to Spokane, and we park, and we just start thinking, like, about, you know, where he would be able to get work under the table. We came to a decision of going to Texas because of the oil fields and the possibility of him being able to work on an oil rig under the table.
That was the point where Adam and Amanda's journey would eventually cross paths with James and Michelle Butler. The Butlers had acquired an RV and set out from New Hampshire.
And let me say this too, it must be great to be an on-the-run felon and be able to go state to state. I mean, I forgot where they said they was initially, but yeah, we finna go to, no, they in Utah. Yeah, we up in Washington now. Guess we finna just mosey on down to Texas. Dang, must be nice.
On their own trip across the country, with Texas as one of their stops. On October 15th, Michelle posted on Facebook to let friends know they had arrived at Padre Island, Texas. They set up camp at a quiet stretch of beach known as the Bowl. James shared photos of the RV parked by the water, including one of Michelle sitting in a chair with her feet in the surf. At the same time, far away in Spokane, Adam traded Amanda's van for a 1999 Chevrolet pickup truck and a 1974 Prowler trailer.
So you traded the van for the truck and the trailer?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
What a deal.
So y'all leave the one spot, you're in Spokane, you decide to come to Texas. Where do you come to Texas?
I was Googling where free camping was because we had.
Wait a minute. Now, I know I ain't the sharpest tool, but where you can trade a van for a truck and a trailer at? What? Is that the deal of the century or what? I swear to God, what is this? Thelma and Louise? What is this? They doing some amazing, incredible shit. Cuz said he traded a van. What kind of van can you trade for a truck and a trailer? The hell? I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, I don't be letting shit just skip past me. Wait a minute, did you just say, what was it, a Honda Odyssey? What was that? A Chevy G20? What are we talking about? The big Safari joint with the high top TVs? A truck and a trailer? Hell yeah, that's a good ass trade. I'm trying to figure it out. You know how you hear something and like your brain won't. I can't go past that because my brain need to process. I need to see how this deal went past. Because I'm like, that sounds like some BS to me. Like I don't even want to believe that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is that? Somebody tell me. A Chevy Venture? A Ford Windstar? What you got going on? What's going on here, bud? That's a great trade. Here we go.
The camp trailer, and that's what we'd been living in, and
a camp trailer? Hold on. So it was a truck with a camp trailer? No, say it ain't so.
I was Googling where free camping was because we had the camp trailer, and that's what we'd been living in, and Padre Island was a place where you could stay for 2 weeks. And I read that there was like an RV like hookup where you could fill up water and where you could dump, and it was right on the beach. And I'm originally from California, and it'd been so long since I'd seen the ocean. Like I had missed it, and I just wanted to see the ocean again. And so that's...
Did y'all come all the way from Spokane, Washington to the island?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
By then, both couples had ended up on Padre Island at the same time, each with a 2-week period they were allowed to stay there for free.
We were at the island for, I don't know, you're only supposed to stay for 14 days, but I know we were past that. I don't know, like, how many days past that we were, but we were.
Eventually, an officer patrolling the beach informed them that their free camping period had expired. It was time to move on, or pay to stay. The problem was, there was no money left.
We're out of funds, like, everything is just kind of falling apart, like...
Is he committing any crimes to pay for this stuff?
As far as I know, no.
Okay.
No.
As if things were not already falling apart, Amanda developed a staph infection.
I just kept telling Adam that I needed to go to the doctor, and at this point, like, he kind of...
Now it's Oregon Trail. Jesse got typhoid. This is a hell of a story.
Had it in his mind that we were going to go to Mexico, and he's like, well, I'll take you to see a doctor in Mexico. And I'm like, no, like, I have to see a doctor, like, here.
Is he not wanting to go because he doesn't want to get caught? He doesn't want people to know y'all are here? Are you using your ID when you go places right now? Your real ID?
I have used my ID the entire time.
Is he using his ID?
He never did anything. I was the one that always did everything.
Adam was legally barred from owning a firearm because of his felony record. Still, he bought one in Texas.
Somehow, like, I do know a gun was acquired.
What does it look like?
It's a smaller black handgun.
What are you talking about, man?
What? The hell, I ain't finna skip past that either. First of all, you see that his whole hairline is tattooed. Then it's like, oh, he ain't supposed to get a gun, but you know, he got a gun intended though. Wow.
Okay.
Amanda claimed she knew nothing about the pistol.
Where did you get that gun from?
I don't know.
You don't know.
The detective did not buy that story. He already knew a 9mm pistol had been registered in Amanda's name. At that point, it became clear what she was doing, trying to distance herself from what was coming.
Is there any way we can take a moment?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there any way I can have a cigarette?
After the smoke break, Amanda finally told the truth.
We went to a gun show here in Texas. He played it off that he wanted something for me, and so I was the one that was getting the gun, and we looked at so many, and literally, I swear we asked everybody in there, like, and nobody would sell a gun to somebody with an ID out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and finally somebody, like, the very last person that possibly could be asked, did.
So, Adam was violent, wanted, and now armed. He had no intention of ever going back to prison. His mind was already set on disappearing into a new country.
So was that her trying to say it like she didn't get the gun for him? Is that what I get from that? They asked around for somebody to get a gun for him at the gun show when they did. Is that what I heard? Yeah, where's the money coming from? Oh, okay, she was the one that purchased it. Okay, because I'm like, wait a minute. Because we asked around, it was like the last person to be asked. And so what? Somebody miraculously gave her some money, or? Hey man, would you buy a gun for me? You at the gun show and be like, hey man, could you buy a gun for me, man? Like, how does that work? Did I miss that part? Yeah, like I'm just trying to follow the story.
Because if he got stopped by the cops, he didn't want to be arrested. He said that he'd never go back to prison. And so his plan was to shoot it out. And I was terrified because all I could think of was, what about Ryan and I?
Now that the detective had the full background of how Adam and Amanda ended up on Padre Island, the interview finally turned toward the crime that brought Amanda there. The theft of James and Michelle Butler's trailer.
You were in a 1999 Chevrolet and a 1974 Prowler trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the truck and trailer we arrested you in.
No, that's not.
How did we get the other trailer?
Amanda said that after they were forced off the beach, they spent time sitting in the parking lot of a laundromat. According to her, that was where everything started.
He found a new truck and trailer because our truck was literally dying. Like it.
You cannot make this up, dog. She said he discovered one.
The motor was blowing up on it. It was.
He discovered one.
And so I was like, okay, what do you mean? And he was very vague, and he's just like,
hey,
well,
hold up. Didn't no girl,
I know we're
hold on, wait a minute.
A new truck and trailer.
Didn't no girl in the last one do the same thing? Now look, I'm not caping for the dude with the tattoos on his head, but this sounds similar to the same girl talking the same thing. It was the same thing. Cause she tried to set the last dude up. You know, he a drug addict. He do drugs. You know, he was whacked out of his mind. He could have done some drugs. She doing the same thing to him. First, she set up all how he was beating the crap out of her. And now he discovered a camper. Wow. Okay. I see. Yeah, the playbook. Yeah.
There is, and like, you don't need to worry about it.
While Adam's next move was taking shape, James and Michelle were making plans of their own.
That's the same thing last girl said too. Like, she went to the crib and cuz had went in there, and I asked him and he said, don't worry about it, I took care of it. I didn't do nothing like that. He said, don't worry about it, take it. It's the same talk from the last one. It's the same one, same script.
Their next stop was supposed to be New Orleans, and after that, Fort Lauderdale.
Damn, they everywhere. This is a fun on the run trip. So we done went from Utah to Washington, to Texas, to the doctor in New Mexico for a staph infection. I forgot Padre Island, but now Louisiana and
Lauderdale, where they were set to manage a Christmas tree farm. They stayed active on social media and kept in regular contact with family and friends.
Man, it must be nice. Listen, YT people. You gotta admit, it has to be nice to be able to just roam around the country and know you're gonna get a little under the table job. You see what he doing? Yep, I take care of Christmas tree farm. What? It has to be a wonderful life to just roam around the U.S. and pick up odd jobs and nobody care about where you came from or what's going on. It has to be great. It has to. It has to be wonderful. This is a great story here.
On the afternoon of October 16th, Michelle Butler sent a text to a friend. It was the last time anyone ever heard from her. That same night, Adam woke Amanda up inside the old trailer parked at the laundromat and told her they now have a new truck and trailer waiting for them at the beach.
And I waited because I didn't know what was going on. And I was scared, like, because why, obviously there's not just going to be a truck and trailer sitting there that he purchased.
Girl.
If that makes sense.
Did you think he was going to steal one as well?
I did. 100%.
Okay.
That I'm guilty of.
She drove back down to the beach in their old rig, and that was when she saw it, the new truck and trailer.
Where did he go when he got out of the truck? Down the beach, to the water, to the dunes?
He walked up, and then he walked down, and I remember because I drove down, there was like the truck and trailer that we ended up with. Like, and everything was dark, and like you couldn't even like see it very well. But I drove past it, and
there's no lights on in it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Eventually, an officer patrolling the beach informed them that their free camping period had expired. It was time to move on, or pay. Amanda said she did not help steal the vehicle. According to her, she stayed back and watched as Adam made 2 trips on foot up and down the dunes, dragging something, before finally returning to hook up the truck and trailer.
And I was kind of watching him, and sure enough, like, he hooks the truck up. And he pulls out. And I'm thinking, like, holy, like, he's stealing somebody's freaking truck and trailer, like. And
stop it, shorty.
So I sat there and then I followed him.
And just for a minute.
Yes.
When you took him to go down there, did he have the gun with him?
When I took him
to go get the truck and trailer?
I don't know.
Okay.
She said it all happened quickly. She was only at the beach for about 15 to 20 minutes before driving the old rig back to the laundromat.
He starts taking out everything that belonged to them and putting all of our stuff in there, and
Where do you put the stuff that belonged to them?
The stuff that belonged to them, like their clothes, took it into the laundromat and left them in there.
After that, Adam changed. For the first time in a long while, he seemed almost pleased with himself.
And so he was being nice, actually, and he's like, come on, like, this trailer's nice, we won't have to live in that little thing anymore, like, and it was so nice. And, like...
So hang on just a minute.
Yes.
When was the first time you got in the new trailer? At the laundromat?
Yes.
Did you notice anything about it?
About the trailer?
Okay. Did you notice blood or...
No. Nothing like that. The only thing that I thought, like, the bedroom, like, all of the bedding was completely gone. And, like, there was a cat in there. And so it smelled like cat.
Michelle Butler loved animals and had brought 3 of her cats with her on the trip. The day James and Michelle went silent was the same day Adam took their rig, and he left the old truck and trailer behind at the laundromat.
We left our truck and trailer there, and we drove off. And his plan was to go to Mexico.
Okay. And before we get to the Mexico part, thank you for telling me this. I think your story is very accurate, but I think you're leaving out something. A few little parts in there.
Okay.
And here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to leave out parts because, one, you think we're going to think poorly of you, or because you don't want to get in trouble. Because the only way this works is if you tell me 100% of the truth, and you know the part we're missing. Okay?
Dun, dun, dun.
So what I want to do is I want you to think very carefully, because that isn't exactly what happened when you dropped him off the beach. It's a little bit different, okay? Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to come back to that? here's the deal. We have to have 100% honesty.
I know. No, I know.
And I'm not going to think less of you. We understand it was a very bad situation. We understand it was very bad. But your story is very, very detailed, very accurate until we get to that part. And I know that's why.
Chance that we can take one more break?
Let's take another break.
One more smoke?
Absolutely.
Amanda had already mentioned that Adam made 2 trips into the dunes. After the smoke break, that was exactly where the investigator focused on.
And I parked, and like I know that he removed some things from the trailer. I don't know what. Like, I do know that. But I thinking like the bedding, like that type of stuff. Like I honestly, truthfully, I didn't ever see anything. And, like,
Could he see you?
Yeah.
So he knew you were there?
Yeah.
Okay, he knows you're there.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not trying to hide from you what he's doing?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. And in your mind, you're trying to not see what you're seeing at this point.
In my mind, I'm not trying to see anything, honestly.
Okay.
And I...
So you said he removed something from the trailer?
Yes.
When you say remove something, is he carrying a box? Is he dragging something? Is there something over his shoulder?
Honestly, it looked like he was dragging something.
Okay. Now, if I'm dragging a towel, that's one thing. If I'm dragging...
Oh, it was... Like, that's why I'm thinking, like, the bedding and everything, because it was bigger.
Was it heavy?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. In your mind, you know what he's
Why
dragging.
are they always talking without no
When I
voice?
look back now, yeah.
What's he dragging?
I think he was dragging one of them.
Okay. Okay. We know that too. In your mind, you're blocking out what he's dragging. He's dragging a body out of there. Okay? All right, Amanda, let's talk about what happens next.
Amanda said she did not help steal the vehicle. According to her, she stayed back and watched as Adam made 2 trips on foot up and down the dunes. Once again, Amanda tried to put distance between herself and what happened next. She said she deliberately looked away as Adam dragged them out of the trailer and into the dunes.
So do you think, because you're an intelligent person, you're a good person, you're like, you just killed these people? You're blocking this out, I don't want to see anymore? Did he tell you to wait for him while I go do this? Did you know
I don't, honestly, I don't, I think that he didn't kill them while I was there.
Okay.
To be honest, like,
Were you close enough you think you would have heard him shoot him if he had shot them?
Yeah.
James and Michelle's children started to worry when their FaceTime calls went unanswered. A week later, on October 23rd, they filed a missing persons report with the Kleberg County Sheriff's Office. Investigators pinged the Butlers' phones and learned they had never left the bowl. The search of the beach began on October 27th. During that search, officers found a bra partially buried in the sand. When they started digging, they uncovered Michelle's body in a shallow grave near the couple's last known campsite. The next day, they found James nearby. Both had been shot in the back of the head. Adam could not have dug 2 graves in that sand with his bare hands. He had to have used tools.
Does he have a flashlight?
No.
A stick?
Like, I know he didn't have a flashlight because I would have seen it, and it was extremely dark. Everything was so dark. Like, there was no lights.
What about a stick?
A
shovel? A bucket?
No bucket. There were shovels, but there were shovels on the outside, on the outside of the other truck.
If you saw him dragging and you know the shovels are missing, you just don't know if he took it which trip, when he moved it.
Oh no, because I watched him put the shovels in the other truck after he had the other truck hooked up to the trailer.
The bodies had been found, but the truck and trailer were gone. At that point, investigators started looking for the Butlers' 2018 silver Chevrolet 4-door pickup towing their Cedar Creek trailer. Meanwhile, one of Michelle's friends created a Facebook page called Finding Michelle and James Butler. It quickly gained attention and spread across social media.
He doesn't really say much.
But you ask him about it.
And he says that he did what he had to do to get us a new truck.
With building public pressure, on October 21st, U.S. Border Patrol leaked surveillance cameras footage of the stolen vehicles crossing into Mexico, the same image that later went viral. At that point, the case had crossed federal lines, and the FBI was involved. But Adam and Amanda were already deep into Mexico, more than 700 miles away in the state of Jalisco. That was where Adam tried to sell the Butlers' trailer to the owner of an RV park. The owner recognized him from the wanted poster and contacted law enforcement. That same day, U.S. Marshals moved in and arrested both Adam and Amanda before they had chance to run again. James and Michelle did everything right. They stayed in touch with family. They documented their journey. They had plans beyond Texas. But in one night, their story was cut short by someone who had already decided he was never going back. The FBI found the 9mm pistol hidden inside the RV. The ammunition had been concealed in the ceiling. They also discovered bloodstains inside the trailer. DNA testing confirmed it belonged to Michelle Butler. In the end, it was not a confession that broke the case open. It was the small things: a missed FaceTime call, a text that never got a reply, a photograph at the border, a man in Mexico who recognized a face from the news. Sometimes cases are solved by one big breakthrough. This one came together through fragments. Amanda Nover later admitted to helping bury the bodies in shallow graves in the dunes. As for Adam, prosecutors seriously considered pursuing the death penalty because of the nature of the crime and the danger he posed. Instead, they offered a plea deal. In November 2021, Adam Williams pleaded guilty to capital murder, tampering with evidence, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, and theft. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Adam began his sentence in the Kleberg County Jail, but was moved almost immediately to a high-security prison because he was considered extremely dangerous. Even after his case was closed, there were still outstanding sexual abuse charges waiting for him in Utah. In February 2022, prosecutors there dismissed those charges without prejudice. The reason was very disturbing. Authorities feared Adam Williams might attack a corrections officer and attempt an escape during transport. With a life sentence already in place and no possibility of parole, they decided it was not worth the risk. Let me know what part hit you the hardest. Was it the viral border image, the discovery at the dunes, or the way the Butler's final trip came to an end?
Wow. All right, I got one to end the hour out. It's evil dad realizes cops found his disturbing secret.
Not back yet? You mind if we take a look in her bedroom?
Has she ever disappeared before?
Didn't leave without permission. She does not text me when I text her.
What does she normally take with her when she leaves?
Book bag, her phone.
Her phone's not in here.
Not that I've found.
I was going to talk to you at that farm around. Arguing here last night, or the night before, anything, any reason she would leave?
No.
This rumor going around, people telling us that she was afraid to come home.
This is the moment Andy McCauley realized police were on his trail. Just hours earlier, his girlfriend's daughter, Riley Crossman, suddenly went radio silent, and police were quickly called to come and investigate. At first glance, it looked just like a messy teenager's bedroom with nothing out of the ordinary. But as the officers scoured through the clutter, unsettling details began to emerge.
This is her book bag. Debbie says she wore, but she said the kids already went through everything. Tony.
They would find items that a teenager might typically take if they were planning to run away, but as they begin to look even more, they start to notice blood. Blood was on her sheet, and more was found on her comforter. The cops were now certain that foul play had occurred, and something terrible happened to Riley. As they try to piece together the puzzle, police find themselves entangled in one man's web of deceptions and twisted lies, all crafted to conceal his one single disturbing secret. On May 2019, dispatchers received a call from a concerned woman reporting the disappearance of her 15-year-old daughter, Riley Crossman. As officers arrive at the scene, they come into contact with the caller, Chantel Oakley, and her boyfriend, Andy McCauley.
What's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, it's been a while. Any word? You mind if we take a look in her bedroom?
Has she ever disappeared before?
She didn't leave without permission. She does not text me when I text her.
This is the only mirror we have like this, so I came in yesterday morning, and I don't remember that being there. And especially her glasses, because this is not exactly the way it was. I've been in here digging and looking to see if there was a note or anything like that.
According to Riley's mother, this was unlike her, and she wasn't one to run off without telling anyone. A quick search of her room revealed that her belongings were untouched, except her bed, which was covered in bloodstains. This was highly suspicious, so officers quickly took a sample and sent it off for DNA testing. But for now, officers need to gather as much information as possible from people who last saw Riley, so they decide to question Andy about his whereabouts that day.
Just to talk to you at that farm around. Arguing here last night, or the night before, anything, any reason she would leave?
No.
Okay. Because the rumor going around, people telling us that she was afraid to come home. I don't know if that's, you know how people go sometimes. But no, there's nothing like that. Okay. So she wouldn't have to be her. I mean, they're right. They ain't like that. It's never like that. It's just nothing. Yeah. Her mom wasn't even home. Right. She's at work. No, you. They said that she got an argument with you and they didn't want to come home. No. She was you can ask your grandma. She was here doing dishes and everything. Her grandma was here till 7:30. Okay. Debbie. Right. Yeah. When's the last time you saw her? Like 9, maybe 10ish. At night? Yeah. And what context was that? Oh, she was here at the house. She went to bed probably. Well, I don't know what time she went to bed, but she was. All the kids were in the room by like 9:30. Did she leave in the morning? No. I left I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Left 5. Okay. Go to work.
According to family and friends, Andy was never an early riser. In fact, when police interviewed one of his colleagues, Johnny, he stated that he had to go to his house and repeatedly call him to wake him up. But on this particular day, things were different.
I'll call him and see if he's up.
So that morning, do you remember if you called him or he called you?
Wednesday morning. I want to say he called.
But this was not the only strange thing about Andy that day. He also told police that he was at work all day, and when cops interviewed another one of his colleagues to verify his alibi, they found out that Andy had left work and was gone for nearly 5 hours.
And he gets back at roughly,
It's probably 2:45.
So he was going a while. 4, almost 5 hours.
Because of this, detectives now know that Andy hasn't been completely honest with them so far, at least about staying at work the full day. This is very clearly a red flag and means that he's trying to hide something from them. But Andy might not be the only one hiding something, as officers would find out when they decide to look into Riley's boyfriend, Hayden. For the last 8 months, the two reportedly FaceTimed every night, so officers believed that if anyone was in contact with Riley the night before, it would be Hayden, and he was soon called in for an interview 2 days after Riley went missing.
Can you just tell us when you were last FaceTiming?
I was actually talking to her about the DC trip, what else going on.
And do you know exactly what time?
10:30-ish.
On the night of Riley's disappearance, it just so happened that Hayden deleted all his messages with Riley because he did not want his mother seeing them. This is why detectives could tell that Hayden knows something, but because of his mother's defensiveness, he's unable to speak his mind.
I told him before not to delete his messages, but he isn't having it, deleting everything.
What do you know about her mom's lifestyle? Or what their relationship?
I don't really know much about mom.
I feel like she just isn't a responsible person. She'll just let her do whatever she wants. They had a dance, and she was wearing this short dress. She let her walk to the school by herself in this short dress. It's at night. Riley had way too much freedom.
Although this interview was not too fruitful, it pushed Hayden to come forward with a crucial piece of evidence afterwards. A series of disturbing text messages that Riley sent to him the night before she disappeared, saying that Andy was in her room and that she was scared. Immediately, all suspicion was further confirmed around Andy, and officers would later use this information to piece together this dark puzzle. But for now, finding out Andy's actual whereabouts and what really happened during the 5 hours that
Andy did it. We already know that. Andy looked like he did it.
Riley was missing is crucial to the investigation, and the reason why Andy would be called in for questioning.
I just talked to Johnny, right? Saw him leaving. Okay. Would you be surprised if you told me something completely different?
Maybe.
Do you not remember leaving that job site and going to Red Hill?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We did go to. It did. I'm sorry. We did. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. We did go to and did a shelf.
How long were you there at Red Hill?
Like the rest of the day.
Okay.
The rest of the day.
Okay. Were you at that house the entire time, fixing the shelves?
No.
Okay. Where were you at?
I was at the other house.
Okay.
I went and got some. I went and got some more drugs.
If Andy was off doing illegal drugs during those 5 missing hours, then that could possibly explain why he didn't initially tell the cops the truth about where he had been all day. But this also could just be his way of trying to distract the police by bringing their attention to something else. At this point, detectives know that Andy is desperate to give them an alternate alibi, and his drug story could possibly be true. So to cross-check, they would call in Johnny again. Johnny had a history of drug use, and the two would often do cocaine together, so he can easily substantiate or discredit Andy's account.
Would you say that there was enough to still do another line each? Oh yeah. Couple lines each? Oh yeah. Okay. So you wouldn't have to, you didn't need any more coke? No.
So now, Andy's story about going to get more drugs isn't adding up. His colleague had already told the cops that they had more than enough cocaine to get them through the rest of the day, so there would be no reason for them to go get more drugs. Realizing that Andy has been lying, the police decide it's time to confront him and get to the bottom of his deception.
What if I told you that I know you weren't that Snowco, and you didn't buy drugs off anybody that day? See what I'm getting at? We went from this story to this story, now we're gonna get a third story. This is one of these times you really need to think of what you're telling me, okay? Because you're not being honest. Remember what I told you about being honest? I'm not gonna just throw shit at you. I know you weren't there. I know you didn't buy drugs off your cousin, and I know you didn't use them in that parking lot that day. Where did you go when you left?
Went to my house to get the drugs.
Okay.
I already had them in my house.
Okay.
I already told you to tell. I still want to tell you I had them in my house.
So you go back home, you use your drugs, and then you go back to work, and then what?
Considering the discrepancies in each version of the story he tells officers, there is more than enough reason for officers to not trust Andy, like they would express.
I'm just telling you the whole part about you being honest.
I'm being honest with you. I've been honest with you.
I know. You had enough coke, right?
You're being somewhat honest. I mean, we're doing some polling to get some information about some drug activity, which is us. I don't even give 2 shits about. But yet we're having trouble pulling that out of you.
Because I was worried about the names out there.
Okay, and I told you I don't care about that.
I didn't say that.
You told us about the drug activity, 2 nights ago?
I did.
Did I arrest you for it?
Names or anything?
The main reason for detectives pressuring Andy like this is because a record of his movements is crucial for this investigation. Usually law enforcement can just track a suspect's movements using their phone, but in Andy's case, he had supposedly left it at home the day that Riley went missing. Knowing that the more leniency detectives show to Andy, the bolder he would become in giving shady alibis, detectives decide to ramp up the intensity of the conversation, even more to make Andy nervous and slip up about his real whereabouts.
The further along this is, whatever happens, and whoever it is to her, the worse off it gets for that person too.
Yes, I hope so.
She was probably taken out of that house by somebody.
Yeah, I feel something that she was taken that way, I feel, because she'd be on by now. She wouldn't leave her mom.
She was taken from that house, is what I'm saying. She didn't wander off. She didn't pack a bag and take her clothes, take her glasses, take a cell phone charger, take all her money. She had most of her money. Someone's going to go.
Her money was still in the book bag.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, if someone's going to run away or do something, they're going to make a little bit better effort, even for a 15-year-old.
I agree.
For a 15-year-old kid, they're going to at least have the necessities.
Even after explicitly stating the absurdity of the situation, Andy seems as calm as ever and won't crack about where he really was. But even in this situation, detectives have one piece of evidence that would cause the pressure to mount on Andy: the texts that Hayden had showed them. Once confronted with these, Andy's behavior changes immediately.
What if I told you her last text to her boyfriend were saying, don't talk, because she still has the FaceTime on? Andy's in here. I'm afraid.
That's what it said.
What if I told you that?
I would say that's crazy.
I can put my hand on the Bible and tell you I saw those texts today.
Well, I like to see him because I knew probably he was scared of me. I know she was.
Not only that, she said you were in here and she was in her bedroom because the FaceTime was still on.
I was never in her room.
That's not what she's saying.
I don't go in her room.
Andy, I'm not lying to you.
I was not in her room, for one. And for two, the kid's not scared of me. There's no reason for her to be scared of me. I've been there in her life for 1.5 years. Taking care of her, giving her these needs. But what we're saying, like, I get that and I hear it, but what we're saying is that's what she's saying. So obviously to her, she's afraid of something.
The walls are closing in on Andy quickly, and he's no longer able to keep up with his lies. He can't think of any possible reason why Riley would be afraid of him, or any explanation for why she would have sent her boyfriend those texts.
There's no way. There's no
way, you can ask your mother. Her mother will tell you that it's not true. There's no
I'm
way.
telling you, I read that with my own eyes today.
I don't know. I know.
So you see where that puts us.
Yeah, I understand, but the kid's not scared of me. I don't understand how you guys can say that.
Despite the damning physical evidence, Andy continues to insist that there was no reason that Riley would have been afraid of him. Perhaps he thinks that if he denies this enough times, the cops will simply move on.
No.
She's not. That's your grandmother.
That's what she is saying.
She's saying that's why we're saying that. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors when, you know, you and Chantel are there, or Chantel and Riley are there, or we don't know. Okay? But obviously, in her mind, she's afraid of you. Would you agree it doesn't make sense? It doesn't make sense at all. So does she have any reason to say that? No. Then why would she say that? Oh, no.
At this point, the cops have given Andy an opportunity to come up with any sort of explanation at all, or even a lie. This would have been his chance to point towards something that may have happened in the past, even as simple as a disagreement between the two of them, as a possible reason Riley would have written these things. But Andy is not taking the bait.
Has she been hateful towards you? Does she hate you? No. She don't hate me. She f***ing loves me. That's what I'm asking you. I don't know that. Does she argue with you? No, ever. We have never cuss at you, curse you out, nothing? Never, nothing. In a year and a half, nothing. Okay, so it sounds like to me she does love you so heartedly. Yes. Okay, so why would she say that? I don't know. In a year and a half, we have not had one conflict. Okay. Me and the boy, yeah, we have. Okay, but there's never been anything, like you said, a year and a half or the last several weeks, several months, several days, nothing that's you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one time she wanted this and I told her no. Maybe she got mad and she's nothing.
With all else failing, Andy would attempt to try and convince the cops that he shares the same sentiments as them.
But you see where that puts us, right?
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you guys are. I'm not mad that you guys are doing your job.
I mean, that's the last message he has from her.
I'm not mad that you guys are doing your job. I know you're doing your job, but there's nothing I can think of.
You want us to do our job. That's what we're doing.
I'm asking you to job up. I'm not mad. You guys going on. Guys, I think he's a little pissed off, but nothing. There's nothing I can think of. She'd be mad at me for, or she'd be upset with me, or scared of me, or anything with me.
You didn't go in that room?
No.
She still had FaceTime one too.
Okay, well, I wasn't in that room.
The cops lacked probable cause at this time to arrest Andy, but there is one piece of evidence that is about to change the course of this entire investigation. It was around this time that the lab results on that blood sample would finally return, and it would be an exact match to Andy's DNA. But that's not all. They also learned that the blood they tested was also mixed with saliva. This made the cops suspect that Riley's face may have been forced into the pillow in an attempt to keep her from screaming. This is an important development, but they still haven't located Riley, and they need to find more information about where Andy was during those 5 missing hours. Luckily though, all of that can be answered in the CCTV footage that captured all of Andy's movements. There were cameras attached to a nearby high school that captured Andy McCauley leaving his work site. That was the starting point of the investigation for the cops. They knew the direction of his travel, including the fact that he was on Route 9. An eyewitness who knew what Andy's vehicle looked like was able to confirm that she saw his truck backed up into the driveway of Riley's home in the middle of the day when he should have been at work. At this point, the cops believe that Andy killed Riley during the late night or early morning hours, likely to keep her from screaming while he assaulted her. They believe he then hid her body in the bedroom until everyone left, and then later returned to the house when it was empty to pick up her body and dispose of it. Using CCTV footage to guide them, and with the help of police canines trained to pick up Riley's scent, they search a nearby mountainous area. It is there that they tragically find Riley's decomposing body left in a secluded area. While this is the outcome that nobody wanted, it marks the turning point in the case. Near where Riley's body is found, there are several unique-looking screws discovered. These are the same screws that were located when the cops had searched Andy's vehicle the day previously. This is even further evidence that solidified the case against him, and 8 days after the discovery of Riley's body, Andy is arrested and charged with her murder. He pleaded not guilty. In the trial, Andy's defense argued that the prosecution failed to provide a clear motive or definitive cause of death, as the exact cause could not be determined due to the body's decomposition. Despite this, the jury found significant evidence linking Macaulay to the crime, such as the presence of drywall mud on Crossman's body, which matched the drywall found in Macaulay's truck, and inconsistencies in Macaulay's statements about his whereabouts on the day of Crossman's disappearance. The jury deliberated for about 4 hours over the course of 2 days and decided that the monster who murdered Riley was none other than Andy Macaulay. Finally, justice for Riley had been served. The only thing left was for Andy to be sentenced. The judge presiding over the case sealed his fate by giving him 2 life sentences.
Yeah, buddy. Damn, Andy. Andy was scandalous. So, I did have a goal up there. If I got a few super chats, maybe some jewels or something, I'll do like an extra little hour of streaming or something. That was a perfect 2 hours, man. We got 3 nice cases in that little 2 hours, man. That was dope. Andy was on some bullshit though. Was that his stepdaughter? Why does Andy just got and she was 15? She looked way older than 15, fam. It's crazy. I've been seeing y'all talking about that wood chipper. Yeah, man, he's a dastardly dude, man. You leaving work to go do some foolishness. Well, thanks for stopping through, man. This is how we do it on the late night tip sometimes. This is Lava Crime Night. Like crime with lava. You dig? Hey. Hey. Alright, man. We go call it like an alcoholic. Cause I got streams to do tomorrow. I think today was a great day. How many streams I do today, y'all? Like 4 or 5? I did like 4 or 5 streams today. I think we had fun today. I've been sitting in this chair since like 2:30. I don't know, must have been streaming for like 10 hours, with little breaks in between. I like doing it though. Yeah, man. I'm a little tired and all that too. But I appreciate y'all rolling with me. For everybody that ain't never been here before, I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm a emoji folk just scold you about being on code. Now you know I got 4 words for you. I need you to go ahead and subscribe for the vibes, like for the spike in the algorithm, comment your vomit, share if you care about getting Black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on the platform that we own, Jones. And just to bring it on home, I got love, peace, blessings, and aloha. About the Doha for Shoha. You already know.